Basketball I'm back in the gym. Where you been? I've been working to give you what you need, guaranteed to succeed in the game that you love to play each and every day in every way. So, back in the gym with my man P, as I told you I would be, and we are shooting that 3-ball, the shot that everybody loves to shoot. And with P, he's a very good catch and shoot stationary 3-point shot maker. And because he makes shots, he is valuable at his height because he is stretching that floor. But he's also big enough to put that ball on the ground maybe one time and get to the rim. So guys are a little worried to close out hard because one rip and step, he's blowing by you just because of his length. And he has a good enough first step to be able to do that. Now, what we did here is I like to get my guys to shoot on the move because we get so complacent with let's just shoot 100 shots, stationary catch and shoot. We make, however many, 50% or more, and they feel good. But then you get in the game and every shot's not stationary. So we have to work on just a small movement. So I worked on small sliding movements as if someone was driving, or let's say you're driving baseline and you're looking for the drift pass, just looking to work his footwork there. And we tried to get it consistent as we could with just moving back and forth and not wasting too much energy, like a full workout. Again, it's just about the movement. And then once he made those shots, I have him slide up as well because it's not going to always be down to the corner. So you have to get that footwork sliding up because it could be a baseline drive. And before the drift, this could be a jump pass to where he found the window, right? And we could talk about all that stuff too, like what the window is and how to find it and all of that in another video if you need me to. Okay, so after he makes those shots, then we're going to have him turn his body because sometimes you don't get to comfortably slide down and everything works perfectly fine, or you're running down in transition kind of with that hand up in the air like, hey, I'm wide open, but your body is still turned and your feet are positioned more towards the baseline, right, instead of towards the basket. So how are you going to get those feet and those shoulders squared to the basket? And again, we did it in a small setting of just kind of, short range, more focusing on the technique of turning his shoulders into that shot. All right. And so again, that's what's important here when we're shooting. I stopped him a couple times because his dip was early and then his raise was fast, but his ball wasn't going with his raise. And so then he ended up being short. And when he was short, he tried to fix it with his arm and his hand. And it just became this thing where he kept missing because he started thinking about it. Now, I'm sure I've told you this before. Shooting is just as mental as it is the physical aspect of how many times you shoot the basketball. And you have to remember to continue to shoot through adversity, right? There's going to be days where you don't make shots. And again, it's more of you trying to figure out why you're not making that shot based on what your foundation is. Now, there's all these clinics, there's all these drills that you can do, but what is your method to how you shoot? Is it balance? Is it, dropping? Is it putting the ball in the set point? Is the follow through aspect important for you? Or is it 3 more steps before you get to that? So you have to find a checklist. I want to say it was Kyle Korver, and I got to find the interview, but he had like something crazy, like 20 things he did before he felt like he had the perfect shot. And so if your checklist is something crazy like that, whatever that is, from your fingertips to your hands to the flick of your wrist to how you bend to how you step, whatever that is, and I'm trying to figure out how you do 20 of those things, but he had it, and he was a pretty impressive shooter in the NBA and had a long career. So maybe I need to figure out 20 things for you guys to tell you. And with P, I don't want to give him that many things to think about. I think I just want him to understand that he is a good shooter already. But now, how do we make you more effective when people try to be aggressive on that three-point line and move you, right? Because he has the ability to shoot over people. So even if I do get in your way or try to bump you off, once I catch it, I see all rim, and that hand's not going to do anything for me because I'm shooting my same shot because I know you can't block it. So that's what we want him to get to as far as confidence level, and that's what I'm excited to see for him. What we also can't forget is a lot of footwork that we do it on the three only, and a lot of what you might get in a game once a team knows you can shoot is you having to move, right? So whether that's running around off of screens, starting, at the bottom of the key or the block for a play, just trying to get him to understand that he may have to do that as well. And then we also talked about what happens if he catches and someone is like knowing this is the play for him and they're running on him tight. How do we shot fake, which will then raise our defender, put it on the ground one time to get them to recover and try to stop us from driving by them and then stepping back, okay? So again, all this movement is going to cause a lot of variables in your shot. And if you've never done them before, they're hard shots to make. And your coach is going to tell you they're bad shots to take. So you have to work on it in order to, I guess, reward yourself in being a shooter that's allowed to shoot those shots, okay? And then everything that you do, make sure you don't only do it on one side of the floor. Even if that's the only side of the floor you're going to be on in the game, still work both sides of the floor because you just never know when you're going to get those one or two shots from the offense not being ran properly, you running down the court and creating space on the floor to be on the other side so that things can work how they're supposed to in transition. Just work on every part of the floor. Now, for season, I would say focus on specific shots that you're going to take a lot of and shoot more of those, but you still want to keep, a light little consistent workout in the other areas, okay? And whether you want to shoot those pregame, whether you want to shoot those before practice, get around the key just a little bit when it comes to that perimeter, okay? And then other than that, basketball shooting is a daily thing. This isn't something you just pick up and do it a little bit of and become good at it. You have to do this every single day, and you have to do it in different ways, because if you do it the same all the time and it doesn't go as planned, you know how that ends, right? A lot of the guys that I've been working with, I've been shooting at like a 38% clip to almost 50. And, I want to keep them in those 40 ranges if I can. And then the one guy that shoots at 50, he's just an amazing shooter, but he shoots the ball like 3 times a day, and he shoots it a lot. I'm in there at least one of the times he's in there, but he goes in to other gyms by himself and does that. So basketball, like I've always told you, that kind of segues right into what I always want to say. Remember, someone is always working. Are you?